For decades, cheap outboards were a gamble nobody recommended. Now, one budget engine keeps showing up in marinas, rental fleets, and real-world use, and it isn't failing. How did Hidea go from ignored to disruptive, and should the industry be worried? Let's find out. Before we talk price, performance, or whether you should trust a budget outboard, you need to understand where Hidea actually came from, because this brand didn't rise by accident. Hidea is a Chinese outboard manufacturer that entered the market with no intention of playing the traditional game. No racing pedigree, no decades-old legacy, no emotional attachment to how outboards should be sold. Instead, Hidea looked at the industry and asked a blunt question. Why is the entry-level outboard still priced like a luxury item? The answer wasn't innovation for innovation's sake. It was simplification. Hidea focused on proven four-stroke layouts, conservative tuning, and manufacturing at scale, not cutting corners randomly, cutting complexity. These engines weren't designed to win comparison tests or impress brand loyalists. They were designed to be affordable, serviceable, and available. And here's the part that makes established brands uncomfortable. Hidea didn't chase enthusiasts first. It targeted rental fleets, sailing schools, tenders, and first-time buyers, people who care more about getting on the water than about brand heritage. That audience is massive, and for years it was quietly priced out of buying new. So Hidea didn't just enter the market, it exposed a gap between what engines cost and what most people actually need. And once a brand does that, the industry has no choice but to pay attention. This is the moment Hidea stopped being a curiosity and started being a problem, at least for established brands. Put a Hidea next to a comparable outboard from a mainstream manufacturer, and the first reaction is always the same. Disbelief. Not a small discount, not a seasonal deal. A huge gap, enough to make buyers assume something must be wrong. How can it be that cheap? What did they leave out? What's going to fail first? Those questions spread quickly, but so did something else. Adoption. Hidea engines began appearing in places where cost matters more than prestige. Rental fleets that replace engines often, sailing schools that can't afford downtime, tender owners who just need something that starts and pushes a boat a short distance. These are environments where unreliable equipment doesn't survive long, and yet Hidea kept getting reordered. That's when the narrative quietly shifted. If these engines were truly disposable, they wouldn't last a season in fleet use. But many did, and some kept going long enough to erase the initial price advantage of used premium engines. So the price wasn't just cheap, it was disruptive. Because once buyers realize a new engine can cost less than a tired second-hand one, the entire value equation changes, and the industry starts paying very close attention. This is where expectations need a reset. Nobody buys a Hidea expecting fireworks. And that's exactly why so many owners walk away surprised rather than disappointed. Performance from a Hidea outboard is best described as honest. Throttle response is steady, not sharp. Power delivery builds gradually, not aggressively. You twist the grip, the revs rise, and the boat moves forward without drama. No sudden surge, no nervous mid-range. Just predictable output that does exactly what it says on the tin. On small fishing boats, inflatables, tenders, and lightweight runabouts, that matters more than people admit. These hulls don't need sporty power curves. They need consistency. They need an engine that doesn't hunt for RPM, doesn't bog when lightly loaded, and doesn't surprise inexperienced users. One sailing school operator summed it up perfectly. It's not fast, but it's never confusing. That's a subtle but important compliment, because performance isn't just about speed, it's about confidence, especially for beginners, especially for shared boats, especially when different people are taking turns behind the tiller. Hidea doesn't try to feel premium. It tries to feel understandable. And in a market where many engines are tuned to impress reviewers rather than owners, that simplicity becomes a feature, not a flaw. This is the question that follows Hidea into every conversation, forum thread, and dockside debate. Cheap engines don't get trust by default. They have to earn it, slowly, quietly, and usually under harsher scrutiny than premium brands ever face. Every misfire is magnified. Every rough start becomes proof of suspicion. And yet, the real-world pattern around Hidea is more nuanced than people expect. Hidea engines don't tend to fail spectacularly. When problems appear, they're often small and annoying rather than dramatic. A sensor here, a cable there, fit and finish quirks that feel unpolished, not dangerous. The kind of issues that make owners roll their eyes, not call for a tow. The core mechanicals, though, often keep going. That's not an accident. Hidea leaned heavily on proven four-stroke architecture, conservative outputs, and relatively simple systems. No bleeding-edge electronics, no experimental tuning. Fewer things to go wrong means fewer things actually do. So the reliability question quietly shifts. It stops being, will this last as long as a premium engine? And becomes, will this last long enough for what I paid? For many owners, especially those who just need a working engine for weekends, tenders, or short runs, the answer keeps coming back as yes. And once that happens often enough, fear turns into curiosity. Curiosity turns into acceptance. And acceptance is how trust actually begins. This is where Hidea quietly wins people over, not with brilliance, but with psychology. Most owners go into a Hidea purchase expecting compromise. They brace for quirks. They lower the bar. And that mindset changes everything about the ownership experience. When a Hidea starts reliably, runs all afternoon, and gets the boat home without drama, it feels like a win. Not because it exceeded premium standards, but because it exceeded expectations. And that gap between expectation and reality is powerful. Day to day, ownership tends to be uneventful. Cold starts are usually fine. Idle is acceptable. Throttle response stays consistent. It doesn't feel special, but it doesn't demand attention either. For many owners, that's exactly the point. They bought an engine to enable boating, not to become another thing to worry about. Compare that to premium engines, where expectations are sky high. A minor sensor issue feels unacceptable. A rough start feels like betrayal. The same small flaw creates very different emotions depending on how much you paid. That's the hidden advantage Hidea has. If a budget engine does 90% of what a premium one does for half the money, most owners mentally forgive the missing 10%. They shrug instead of stressing. They keep boating instead of booking service appointments. So ownership satisfaction doesn't come from perfection. It comes from alignment between price, promise, and reality. And Hidea understands that better than most brands want to admit. This is the point where the Hidea story stops being about one cheap outboard and starts being about the industry reacting to a problem it didn't expect. Hidea isn't stealing loyal customers from premium brands in droves. It's doing something far more dangerous. It's pulling in buyers who wouldn't have bought new at all. People who previously looked at outboard prices, laughed, and went straight to the used market, or delayed buying altogether. That matters, because once someone buys a brand new Hidea, uses it for a few seasons, and realizes it does the job, a psychological line gets crossed. The idea that new outboards are unaffordable stops being true. And once that belief breaks, the pricing structure of the entire entry-level market starts to wobble. You can already see the response. Established brands quietly pushing stripped-down models, fewer features, smaller margins, more aggressive finance offers. Not because Hidea is superior, but because it exposed how much of the market was being ignored. Hidea changed the question buyers ask. Instead of, which brand is best, it became, why am I paying so much more? And when customers start asking that out loud, every manufacturer listens. Because competition isn't always about performance. Sometimes it's about reminding people they had another option all along. This is where the conversation usually splits in two. On one side, people assume Hidea is temporary, a budget wave that will fade once owners upgrade to something better. On the other, some believe this is exactly how markets change, quietly, at the bottom where expectations are lowest and volume is highest. The truth sits somewhere in between. Hidea isn't here to replace premium brands. It doesn't need to. It exists to answer a brutally simple question: why does basic boating have to be so expensive? And for a growing number of owners, Hidea's answer is good enough. For first-time buyers, tenders, rental fleets, and casual weekend users, Hidea often makes more sense than stretching finances for a nameplate. Not because it's better engineered, but because it's better aligned with how they actually boat. Will Hidea engines still be running in 20 years like some Hondas or Yamahas? Maybe not. But that's not the benchmark their buyers are using. They're measuring value per season, not legacy per decade. And that's the real shift. Hidea isn't changing what a great outboard is. It's changing what people are willing to accept. And once expectations move, the industry has no choice but to follow. So, Hidea isn't about perfection, it's about changing expectations. It asks whether basic boating really needs a premium price tag, and that question is making the industry uncomfortable. If you've run a Hidea, or you're considering one, share your experience in the comments. Real-world stories matter more than brochures. And if you want more honest engine breakdowns without hype, subscribe, because the water always tells the truth.